During British rule in Sudan, poverty and corruption were widespread. The British imposed extremely high taxes on the Sudanese people and seized control of the ivory trade, which was one of the most important sectors of the economy of Sudan. The British monopolized the ivory trade and deprived the people of its profits. It was in this oppressive environment that an Islamic scholar named Muhammad al-Mahdi led a rebellion that would expel the British from Sudan and finally make Sudan an independent country. Sheikh Muhammad al-Mahdi called on all the tribes of Sudan to unite under one banner and wage a jihad against the Anglo-Egyptian forces. The army of al-Mahdi managed to destroy an army of 11,000 men, which was led by Colonel William Hicks. All 11,000 men were massacred by the Mahdi army after being ambushed in the desert. After Colonel William Hicks was annihilated, the British decided to send one of their top generals, known as Charles Gordon, in order to control the situation in Sudan. However, even the experienced Charles Gordon was no match for the army of Muhammad al-Mahdi. In 1885, the army of Muhammad al-Mahdi killed Charles George Gordon, who was the British ruler of Sudan. The army of al-Mahdi managed to chase the British out of Sudan and establish an independent state. The army of al-Mahdi had successfully kept the British out of Sudan for over a decade. The people of Sudan were attracted by the revolutionary movement of Muhammad al-Mahdi because Sudan had no central authority for centuries and had been exploited by foreign powers for too long. In the year 1820, Sudan was invaded and conquered by the Egyptian ruler known as Muhammad Ali Pasha. When Muhammad Ali Pasha came to power in Egypt, he implemented reforms which were influenced by Europe. One of these reforms was to centralize authority in Egypt and take away power from local leaders in Sudan, who previously had peaceful trade relations with the Ottoman Empire. Muhammad Ali Pasha also imposed taxes on the people of Sudan and mercilessly exploited Sudan's natural resources. This exploitation was based on the European model of crony capitalism, which was something completely new to the Muslim world. Muhammad Ali Pasha had created his own dynasty which was based on Western capitalism. European influence in Egypt continued after Muhammad Ali's death, and Egyptian rulers continued to obtain expensive loans from the French and the British. In the year 1882, due to Tawfiq Pasha's unpaid debts, the British invaded Egypt and took full control of the country. The people of Egypt revolted several times, but these revolts were crushed. However, the British failed to crush the unexpected rebellion that began in Sudan. The arrogant British Empire never expected that the poor and downtrodden people of Sudan would be a threat to their rule, since the British had already crushed rebellions led by more well-equipped Egyptian rebels. However, Sheikh Muhammad al-Mahdi managed to completely annihilate the British and kill Colonel Charles Jordan. It was only many years after the death of Muhammad al-Mahdi that the British took back control of Sudan. After the death of Muhammad al-Mahdi, Khalifa Abdul Taichi replaced him to continue the jihad from 1885 until 1898. This revolt lasted until 1899, when the British forces destroyed the Mahdi state and once again established their colonial rule over Sudan.